Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. We love to keep our viewers apprised of everything that's happening within our Park City Public School system. And I'm thrilled to be joined by Eric Esquivel, the Park City Public High School's Latino Community Relations Specialist.
Good morning, how are you?
Good morning.
Thanks.
So fill us in. What's going on within the Latino community within the school district?
Well, there's been, I was hired in December to come in, and they kind of reorganized the position that I was in. And so some of the things that I'm responsible for are community relations, community outreach, and after-school activities, trying to close the achievement gap.
Yes.
And also after-school activities, for the Latino community, but also it involves also those that are underserved or lower income.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me a little bit about when you said the achievement gap, because that's something that I think people are concerned with. What are some of the tactics that you're using to sort of bridge that gap between the two communities?
Well, right now we're still in the planning stages. There's several things that we want to do, because one of the things that I think the missing link is the parent involvement. Mm-hmm. They work so much. The parents that are here haven't been indoctrinated in the U.S. educational system. And so every time we get the opportunity, we tell them, the more involvement that you have with your student, the more success you'll have.
Right.
And I have several stories like that, where I've actually, made the phone call to the parent and told them that, and they become more consistent in at least attending and stuff. Now, the achievement gap itself is, it's through third grade is what we're looking at. And so what ends up happening is English language learners, they come from a household typically that Spanish is the only language spoken at home, and second, they didn't attend early, like preschool education.
Sure.
So they're coming in a little bit behind. So they're already coming in with a language barrier, and they're coming in with that lack of foundational education, and so they're a little bit behind already. So, we have to try to close that gap. So one of the things that I want to do this summer, I've talked to some of our community partners that we have, which PC Unidos is a group of, it's a conglomerate of several groups, Christian Center, Holy Cross Ministries, mm-hmm. People's Health Clinic, Health Department, all kinds of people are there.
A lot of amazing resources right here.
They really are. And so, I've talked to them, they've seemed very cooperative, and so what I want to do is do a campaign and go door to door and knock on doors and talk to people and let them know, are you reading to your child over the summer? Because, you can talk to any school district in the United States, and there's that gap, where summer hits and then, and
everyone, the teachers say, I start back in September, 3 months,
Yeah, they have to review where they left off.
Yes.
And so then you add to that where they're already a little bit behind. So I want to make sure that they're reading to the children. We talk to the parents and we tell them, read to them, even if it's in your own language. Mm-hmm. We have some of our schools that have very basic books, like kindergarten, first grade books that, see the dog run. They have them in English and Spanish. So I tell the parents, learn to read with your child.
Right.
It's very basic. You can see it in Spanish, which is what you know, and you can see it in English. It has little circles and arrows that points to the word and the subject, what they're talking about, and so they can take that opportunity and learn. So that's what we're trying to do right now to reduce that achievement gap.
Well, it's just the engagement of the parents with the child's education and just having that connection more so than, like you said, the free time after school. That's not unique to the Latino community, but what are some of the things you're working on to sort of fill that time post-formal school setting?
Well, we have our after-school program where they do work with the children. And so in addition to that, that leads to adult education, which is another component of one of the areas of responsibility that I have. Because again, it's about educating the parents. And so part of that, we want to include a component. Right now we're working with Valley Behavioral. There's a class that we're going to put on for our Latino parents. It's going to be in Spanish. And it covers, basically, nutrition, health, how to improve your child. I call it, and I want to start developing, and we're getting the outline set up right now, how to parent your student. Mm. We don't want to tell them how to be a parent, but we want to tell them how to parent your student, how to set them up for success. So that's part of that other component that we're trying to do. So, make sure that the parent is educated. Make sure that the parent is involved in the school district. And that is another part of this, how to parent your student, is let them know. I like
that. That's a very clever way to present it.
Right, and teach them how the Park City School District operates, how they can function within it. We want to try and incorporate people into these groups. And so the more we can get them involved in the community, I think the more comfortable they'll feel. But right now there's a challenge. There's a lot of rhetoric going on, nationally.
Yes.
We've had some, ICE has made a visit, and it's had an impact on our community. But, I think we can power through that. The reason is we have so many good partners here in Park City, from Park City Municipal, the mayor and the council, to the county leadership, the Park City School District.
That are so supportive.
They are very
every
supportive.
Community member.
They really are,
Park City,
and it's uplifting for me, and it continues that motivation. And all these other community groups, there's so many things that are in place. Just recently I found out that there's a private donor who's anonymous, gave $500,000 for after-school activities. We call it out-of-school activities because, we don't want to include just after school. It could be during the breaks, it could be during the summers, and how to get children more involved.
Anonymously, $500,000.
Can you believe that? That's what a great community we have.
Good.
And I was just telling Mayor Thomas the other day, we need a motto. It's a great day in Park City, because I believe that.
It is.
It is.
It is. And I am so thrilled that they've put in place someone like you to help be a liaison, a representative for the community, and specifically the Latino community, to keep people informed and keep people engaged, and to bridge those gaps that I think, sort of those invisible lines that people tend to draw in the sand for no real reason.
Well, and I am building off of people who have already been in the system, in the school system, trying to do these things. Nora Buchanan in the past has been very involved. Anna Williams, she was a past guest of yours, very involved with the Latino students. And so they have done a tremendous job, and they've laid the foundation, all the real hard work, and I'm coming in and just trying to help out and pick up that pace. Not pick it up, but
just take the ball and run with it.
Continue
You're going to continue the work
and
that they've
expand
done.
it a little bit, with our partners and everything, and make sure. And that's a good thing about the school district. They recognize that need. 25% of our student population is Latino. And though the majority of our students, by the time they get to high school, are speaking Spanish, but the parents aren't.
The parents are not.
They're first generation, if not, they're DACA students, so they're fresh here.
They're fresh ears. Well, they're lucky to have someone like you be their representative.
Well, but it's a team. It really is a team.
It's a team. But please come back anytime, and please share with us what's going on within the community.
And maybe in the future I can bring up some from my team members, and they can give details on what they're doing.
I would love it. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to wrap up today's show. We hope you join us to finish the week on Friday's show right here on Park City Television.